I ain't scared of nothing. That's what I shouted at my brother as I slammed the car door shut. Things have changed since then. I've changed. I remember the smirk on his face, the way he held out my jacket, the endless list of horrors he rattled off. Skinwalkers, witches, werewolves, you name it. He threw each one at me like a challenge, a reason to back out, to save myself from what he called a stupid idea. I rolled my eyes, grabbed my jacket, and slid into the car, yelling that I wasn't scared before speeding off toward the mountains. They loomed in the distance, jagged and dark against the fading sun, like teeth waiting to bite. I wish I'd listened. I was wrong. He was right. I'm terrified. Let me rewind. This all started 2 days ago. I was in a bad place. Depressed, barely able to get out of bed, thoughts of ending it all swirling in my head. A friend suggested solo camping, said it might help clear my mind. He gave me a list of spots, some remote, some not. I chose the most isolated one, a 3-hour hike deep into the Rocky Mountain National Forest. He looked at me, surprised but resigned. "You sure?" he asked, his voice cracking. I nodded. "It's secluded," he warned, "especially for a first-timer. But it's beautiful. The night sky out there, it's unreal." He paused, then added, "Just don't go out at night, no matter what you hear. Bears, mountain lions, you don't want to mess with them." The drive up was oddly calming. The winding roads, the trees, the rocks. It all felt like a balm for my frayed nerves. I'd left my phone in the glove box, determined to disconnect, to focus on the present. This trip was supposed to be my reset button. 5 days, 4 nights, enough time to figure things out. I reached Estes Park as the sun dipped low, the town picturesque and quiet. I drove through, resisting the urge to stop at the Stanley Hotel, and made my way to the park entrance. By the time I got to the trailhead, it was almost dark. I cursed myself for leaving so late. Hiking 3 hours in near-total darkness? No way. I set up camp in the nearest lot, surrounded by a few other tents. That first night was peaceful. Laughter, kids running around, the smell of roasting hot dogs and smokes. I fell asleep to the sound of crackling embers. The second night? Not so much. I woke up late, groggy but rested. I packed up slowly, hesitating. Maybe I should stay. But at 3 p.m., a family showed up with a reservation for the site. So I set off, and immediately got lost. Navigating by map and compass for the first time, alone, is harder than it sounds. The trees played tricks on me, turning me around until I had no idea where I was. What should have been a 3-hour hike took nearly 6. By the time I found the site, the sun was almost gone. I set up my tent in a hurry, built a small fire, and crawled inside as darkness fell. Every sound was amplified, every rustle, every snap of a twig. I told myself it was just animals, but my heart raced anyway. Then I heard it. The unmistakable crunch of footsteps outside my tent. Something or someone was out there, moving quietly, deliberately. It went on for hours, stopping and starting, until I convinced myself it was just an animal. By dawn, I was exhausted, dozing off as the noises finally stopped. I woke up disoriented, panicked, and realized the sun was setting again. I'd slept the entire day. I wanted to leave, to hike back, but I knew I'd get lost. So I gathered wood, built a massive fire, and prepared for another night. The darkness felt heavier this time, oppressive. The fire's light seemed feeble, swallowed by the shadows. Hours passed. I told myself I was being ridiculous, that the noises were nothing. Then I heard it again. Footsteps, closer this time, louder. My heart pounded as the side of my tent caved in, like something had slapped it. I yelled, scrambled to my feet, and unzipped the tent, flashlight in hand. I saw a shape dart away and followed it. At the edge of the firelight stood a figure, its back to me, arms hanging limply. I stepped closer, and a branch snapped under my foot. The figure turned its head slightly and I froze. "Hey," I said, my voice shaking. "What the hell are you doing?" The figure laughed, a sound that started low and built into a scream, echoing around me. I ran back to the tent, zipped it shut, and curled up in my sleeping bag, crying. The world outside erupted. The tent shook like it was being pounded by dozens of hands. The sound of running feet surrounded me. I don't know when I fell asleep, but I woke up to a reddish glow, the tent untouched, no sign of what had happened. I packed up quickly, determined to leave. As I pulled the tent poles, I noticed it wasn't collapsing properly. I peered inside and froze. There was someone in there. Me, but not me. Pale, skeletal, with a grin too wide for its face. Blood dripped from its black, empty eyes. I stumbled back, tripping over my own feet. The thing, my doppelgänger, crawled out of the tent, laughing. I screamed and ran, not caring if I was going the right way. I ran until I crashed into a man holding a flashlight. He calmed me down, said he was a park ranger, and led me to his SUV. He didn't look like a ranger. Black suit, polished shoes, a gun on his belt. As we drove, I saw the thing again, standing in the road. The man didn't hesitate. He hit the accelerator and we felt the impact. He kept driving, but the laughter followed us, echoing through the trees. We reached the lot at sunrise. He handed me a black card with a single number on it. "Call me if you want to talk," he said before driving off. I haven't told anyone what happened. When they ask why I don't camp anymore, I just say it's not my thing. But sometimes, I pull out the card, wondering if I should call. Wondering if he can explain what I saw out there. That's where my story ends. Or maybe it doesn't. I still don't know what I saw out there. Was it real? Or something darker? I keep the card, but I've never called. Maybe one day I'll find out the truth. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more chilling tales. Let me know in the comments, what would you have done? Thanks for watching, and remember, not all forests are meant to be explored. See you next time.